we are performing under the direction of Chip Miller, our song
Right.
master.
Well, Alan is not here. He's doing much better. He's fine,
Good, good.
but he had to reschedule a doctor's appointment for today. So that's why you get me.
We'd rather have you.
No,
Don't say that.
Couldn't have said it better.
Wait till Alan watches the
Today
video.
we're going to sing in honor of those who decided to help repaint the caboose.
Oh, good.
Give
I've
Doc one.
been
All right.
working on the railroad,
I like it.
which is on page 12.
Where?
I've
been working on the railroad all the livelong day. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. Can't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. Can't you hear the captain shouting? Dinah, blow your horn. Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah, strumming on the old banjo, singing fee-fi, fiddly-I-o, fee-fi, fiddly-I-o, fee-fi, fiddly-I-o, strumming on the old banjo.
Oh, good job on the O's. All right. The O's have it today. Will you all join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And will
Graham,
you
did we
please
get the comma
pray or
right?
meditate along with me as you please. As I say, bless this food to our use and us to thy service. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to eat. Would the ladies and would the ladies?
Right here.
Yes, but I think today, please start.
Think your think that. We have one skip.
Okay.
Is that FBI?
What's the name of your neighbor?
Yeah, I got our neighbors. Used to be that FBI. Oh, not Terry, no. They.
Let me pause this.
If you read the minutes
I
of the last meeting.
haven't gotten around to them yet.
Some of them decided they were going to ride the storm out in Sanibel.
Oh,
They got off on Sunday.
Wow.
and they got off on Sunday. So the storm hit on what? Thursday down there, right?
They were there for a while.
Holy
But
cow.
there's
Any
injuries.
and no injuries. I mean, they're fine.
One of the houses is totally gone. One of them's damaged pretty good. And her father-in-law has congestive heart failure. So they moved him up on the list to airlift him out.
Oh my goodness.
Where is this?
Apparently gonna rebuild.
So, and
What'd she
were
say?
they sunbathing on the roof for 2 days? or
There wasn't much
something?
roof left.
So what did they say doing after they?
They stayed in their wet living room.
Oh, wow.
It was up on the second floor.
Oh, okay. You couldn't get in and out of there. No.
No, they weren't going anywhere.
Wow.
Okay.
So
All right. Thank heavens they're still
How happy
alive.
are you?
How happy
I said $10, one for each of them.
$1 for each of 10 people?
Yes.
Okay. Well, and they're back alive. Who, anyone else? Anyone else? We're making up for, there was a week back there, we missed Happy Dogs. Okay. Next, I would certainly like to welcome Tina, who is here, has made a cameo appearance. And she's gonna be telling us some news about the Domestic Violence Coalition in a moment. Well, actually, wait a minute, why not? Come on, Tina.
You guys don't know, the coalition purchased the old GF one about a year ago. And so they have finished all the renovations. And we have the ability to house 30 individuals, men, children, and women. And so that is opening today.
Awesome.
Oh, you can't say where it is. but
No, I
it's
mean,
serving-
it's public knowledge now.
Everybody
Yeah,
knows
our
that.
old shelter was not a disclosed location, but this one is. And so it's the old GF Warren building in a Hancock. If you guys.
Does it have a fence around it? Is that why you can?
It does. Yep, it's got security fence. They've got
And cameras and guard probably.
whole 9 yards. Yep.
So does this increase the capacity? or-
It does, yeah, so our previous shelter was 2 duplexes. Each duplex had 2 rooms and each room had 2 sets of bunk beds, so 8 people per household.
For house, or,
No, just 2 duplexes that were conjoined,
okay,
but each home only housed 8 people.
oh, I see.
So now, kind of, what we would like to see is families really kind of having their own space, their own bedrooms. They all have microwaves and college style refrigerators, and some have Jack and Jill bathrooms, so they'll have to kind of share in that way, but so that'll be nice. And there's a bigger communal space. There's a meditation room and there's a children's room. We're hoping they're hoping to start another phase of another building. And that hopefully will house, we do a lot for sexual assault. I'm a sexual assault advocate. That's what my job is. And so we do a lot of FIs, which are forensic interviews, for juvenile victims of sexual assault. And so those are always done at CHKD. They have a program over there, the Children's Hospital, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah. So they are done across the bay with forensic interviewers. And so our second phase, which will be our administration building, we are hoping to also have a forensic interview for children there, where CHKD will partner with us and do those forensic interviews there as well. So which is huge. And then the other part of that second phase, we're hoping to have what they call a PERC room, which is a physical evidence recovery kit room, where the rape kits can be done, which will also be huge, because those kids are not, well, we wouldn't do the kids probably, they would probably still go across the bay, but our adults would not be going to to Riverside, they would be coming to our office, which just kind of makes it a little bit more trauma informed for our clients.
oh, trauma informed meaning.
Trauma informed in the way that we're responding to
I
sexual assault, yeah.
Um,
Not so harsh.
What's the
And
capacity
what's the
now?
schedule for fully building this out?
So the second phase just started, so that will, they're thinking, I think they said, Jack, am I right in saying like maybe 9 months, but probably a year. I mean, I'm sure supply and all this, funding and things like that will make it.
And what will capacity be when it's built?
So the shelter itself is built out, and that's a total of 30. Yeah,
But what will the new space be used for? These rooms, these.
so shelter space will just be used to house our shelter clients. And they've got a brand new kitchen, so it's got kind of like 3 stations in the kitchen, 3 refrigerators and a stove, so that multiple families can be, utilizing in the kitchen. We're hoping to have like a counseling area in there as well, where we can do groups and things like that.
Is that enough to meet your needs now and in the future?
So if anyone knows anything about GF Horn, it's actually 3 separate buildings. So one, which is currently the shelter now, the second one would be admin, and then a space for us to be able to do our FIs and our PERC exams. And the third one has not been decided. So I guess potentially, yeah, could in the future be expanded.
And the second phase is to build up the administration.
Exactly, yeah.
I
So that we have a place to be.
How did you get involved in this?
Okay, well, so long story short,
Well, we've got time for long stories.
I know, I really am in the hot seat here. Okay, so long story short, some of you may or may not know, but I myself was a victim of sexual assault as a child, went through the foster care system, and just really honestly had a lot of individuals in the community, social workers, and some that are still social workers, that really just made a difference in my life. And so kind of, I wanted to give back as well. So
Bravo.
here I am. Yeah.
Bravo. And where'd you grow up? In this area?
Well, Accomack County.
Great.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, this is wonderful. Well, we're delighted to have you both today and just generally as a member. And it's nice to be around people who are making a difference. So thank you. Thank you.
Indeed.
For those of you who may not have heard, our speaker today is an FBI agent who was injured and is now recovering from surgery.
Ooh.
So we're punting. We hope to have him back. He is going to teach. It's I think it's active shooter training.
Active shooter class.
Active shooter class. And maybe it's a good thing. Because we probably should schedule a special meeting when it comes, and because we're going to need a little extra time. He teaches this as a 1 hour class, and I'd like to get as much of that in as possible. Probably what we will do is to give him a half hour before 1 o'clock, and then we'll take a break. If anyone needs to go, they may, but if they want to stay for the conclusion of the class, there'll be another half hour.
He's
So-
gonna give us an active shooter class?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, don't bring your gun.
Glad you
Jim.
showed me.
You want me to say something about the mentorship program?
Very much so. Thank you for that reminder. Yes. Stand up.
You're on. You're
Go
on.
for it. The floor is yours.
All right. Where you going, Jackie?
Yes, sneak out.
I'm going to an election officer training on how to use the electronic poll book.
You can teach it.
Ah.
You maybe you are teaching it.
We thought you knew he was speaking.
Oh, Paul, I love you.
So the membership committee decided to make the assignment of a mentor and the tasks of a mentor and new members a little more formal than it's been in the past. We for several years now assigned mentors to new members, but there was never a very good specific list for them to follow. So a lot of them basically ended up doing nothing. But the membership committee did formalize the program, and the board passed the request that they made, and that every new member will be assigned a mentor, and as before, but there's a specific list of, let me see, 8 things that every new member will need to complete within their first 6 months of membership. Now, and we're going to apply this to all the new members that joined this calendar year. So I think there are about 8 of those. Mentors have been assigned to those, and the mentors have been informed about what this list is. And I think every new member, which is every member during the past year, has received this list. And the mentors are to. What's yeah, I'll go through it in a second. And so the mentors are to complete this list. Now, there are a lot of things that the mentor, even members, longstanding members of this club might not know how to do on this list. So we've trained the mentors to be able to do these things. And there are other members of this club who might not know how to do some of the things on this list, or might not ever have done them. And if you would like training in doing this, all you need to do is contact one of the mentors that's been assigned to do this. And those are Jim Rich, myself, Bill Payne, Bill Stram, Randy Diamond, Rusty Gates is being trained today. And that's it for right now. But we would hope that as time goes on, virtually all the members of the club will know how to do all of these things. These first of all, there's a booklet called Rotary Basics that we've bought a set of these, I think about 20 of these. And every new member gets one of these and they're expected to read it. That's one of the things to be checked off. Another is to learn how to get on DACDB. If you don't know what that means, then you need training. And Rotary.
That's important to new members. DACDB is where new members go to see photographs and names and to
Yeah.
attach the
So
two.
every member of the club
Right.
should be able to know how to get on DACDB, which is a district website, and have your picture on it, have all your current information on it, so that if any member of Rotary wants to contact you, all they gotta do is log on to DACDB, type in your name, and they can get your phone number and your email address and your mailing address and everything. Similarly, everybody needs to be on rotary.org and there's a My Rotary that you can sign up for that's that requires a username and login, and every member should know how to do these things. Of course, we've previously required that everybody do a fireside chat. We're going to have every new member be a greeter at least 3 times, and so that way they're more likely to meet and get to know everybody in the club. They have to go to at least one board of directors meeting. They have to do an autobiography, which generally has been required, but it hasn't. Some people slip through the cracks, and participate in at least one club project and service project. And there are some other things that they're expected to do in the next 6 months, but they're not so much required. But we're going to have red stickers on everybody's name tag, name badge. I don't know where mine is right now. I guess it's on the table.
When Jackie left, so it's not
you
going to
will
cost you
have,
any money.
I have a red sticker on
I
mine.
think the neat thing is, he's got a new member sticker. No, it's not.
That's our official Rotary sticker. But anyway,
Foundation
I'll take
sticker,
that
but they look very much like.
because a red sticker means you're a newbie. And when you finish these 8 requirements and you get signed off, then you get your red sticker removed. Well, anybody have any questions about the program? Starts October 1st.
And don't be embarrassed participating in this, because if you look at that DB, we've got generally a pretty sorry set of portraits. So we're going to be doing some photographs here, and if you haven't been in to update your profile, there will be opportunities for that. So and again, it is important to new members. Speaking of new members, what's the best way to get new members into the club? Invite them for lunch. So we were doing really, really well on that in the spring, so it fell off on the summer, and it is time to restart. So think through your list of friends, and you know, we're a reasonably jovial group, we'll at least shine ourselves up a little bit, and it is the best thing you can do, both for your friends and for the club. I'm going to circulate this sign up sheet. The agricultural fair is this Saturday, and we need 3 people to help with the parking. It would be from 11:30 until 1:30. Actually, 9:30 until 1:30. Excuse me. 9:30 to 1:30. The actual event is 10 until 2. So you arrive a little bit early, and probably parking's not going to be a problem at the end. So I'm going to circulate this around. Please, we need the help, and if you will, just circulate that around. And this brings us to the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to hear from one of our newest members. Libby is going to come up and tell us her biography. And by the way, she deserves credit, not just for coming up, but really for pinch hitting, because she had about 15 minutes to prepare for this presentation. Yes, you can say she's been studying it a lifetime, but it still takes some nerve to get up here. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for our newest member?
Is this panel?
Absolutely.
Oh,
This is-
okay.
You
All
get to
right.
check off one of your things.
All right, so I will start from the very beginning. So I was born in Delaware. My parents moved to Massachusetts, stayed there for 20 years. Got a degree in medical technology, which is where the folks that work in the hospital laboratory. Got tired of pushing buttons, so I went into Fisher Scientific, which is one of the major, at least at that time anyway, was a major distributor for laboratory equipment. And I did sales for about 7 years. Then I got interested in politics, and I moved down to Washington, D.C. to work for the first Bush administration. And like many of us, if you go down to Washington, D.C., many of us never leave, and that's part of the problem. So I was there for about 30 years, worked for a lobbying firm, worked for an organization on and off, Citizens Against Government Waste, worked for a pharmaceutical company, Daiichi Sankyo, for about 7 years. So that's what I did. So it's kind of a mixed bag of things, nonprofit and profit organizations. During that time, I stumbled on Cape Charles in the year 2000. I was driving from Chincoteague down to Virginia Beach for a mini vacation, and I just kind of wondered what was in this drive-by area. So the following spring, I literally covered my hands and I went like this on a map, and it ended up at Cape Charles. That was about 2000. I drove in about 8 o'clock at night and was horrified because I went down the main street and all the buildings were shuttered. And it just looked really sad and a little scary. But I went to the bed and breakfast, Seagate, Chris Bannon ran it at the time. And I said, well, this is a nice, lovely place. I'll be fine in here. And then when I woke up, I saw the immediate neighborhood and saw it was very charming. I got on my bike and rode around and saw all this development going on and houses being repaired. So I asked Chris the next day at breakfast, I said, so what's going on? And he said, you need to buy property. And that's what I did. And I bought the house with the intent of retiring here. And retirement came last December. So I'm here and meeting various people and trying to create sort of a new friendships and new neighbors, but keeping in touch with all my old friends. And that's how I ended up here. And I mentioned, Bill, we were talking last week. I said I wasn't going to be here because part of me being in Washington, of course, that's when COVID hit. And there was all the talk about producing the new vaccines. So I knew folks at Pfizer. So I called them and I said, I want to get into clinical trials. So they gave me the name of the people to call. And there's basically, well, 3 phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 of a clinical trial. And then phase 4 is after the drug's been approved. But phase 1 is when they're checking to make sure it's safe. Phase 2, they expand the population and they're checking for safety and effectiveness. And they didn't want me in those because I was too old and had mild hypertension. So they want pretty healthy folks to do that. But they did put me in phase 3. So I was one of the many thousands of guinea pigs. I got my vaccine in July of 2020 and got the boosters. You know, part of it is you have to No, they don't want you cooped up in the house. They want you to behave normally, which I did. You know, I went out and did, you know, what normal people would do, because they're testing you to see how well the vaccine works. Maybe I got it. If I did, I certainly don't know that I did. I was never at all sick that whole time to think that maybe I had got it, except for the first week in September. And I got a little bit of sore throat and a cough, and I said, you know, I think I'm gonna check myself. And sure enough, I got COVID. It was very mild. I mean,
What year was that?
that was when I got the shot, or just
Last month.
just September,
Oh,
first week in September. And it was mild. It's probably the Omicron. I mean, who knows? I just did, you know, one of the rapid tests and it came up right away. And actually, I mean, I sort of kind of wanted to get it because I think you get, you know, a little bit, you know, you're going to get better immunity for it, because the Pfizer was just, you're getting the protein from the spike. That's those are those little crowns when you see the photograph of the virus. That's what goes into the cell. So that's what the vaccine is imitating. So now, you know, I've been exposed to more of the virus. So although it's, you know, it's mutated quite a bit. So and it was pretty mild. I mean, it was like 3 days, like just like a bad cold, you know. But and I was talking to them when I was up last week. I said, so what's sort of going on with this? And they said, well, we do have a new trial, you know, sort of going to be sort of a little bit more like the yearly vaccine you may get for a flu. And I offered to participate in that, but I haven't heard anything. But you also asked, you know, can anybody participate in a clinical trial? And I had sort of planned for this. I would have brought the website, but yes, you can if you want to. I think it's clinicaltrials.gov. And that's actually how, you know, once I talked to the folks at Pfizer, that's, you know, I got my name registered with it. But you can go there and there's a lot going on. And if you want, you can do it. I mean, they may not take you. Depends upon, you know, what the vaccine is and your health. You do get, I mean, I got some payment, you know, it's minuscule. Oh, I had to log in every week on something called Trial Max, which was an app. I got $5 every, I mean, we're not talking big money. $5 every time to log in. Not enough to pay for hospital bills. $5 just to, it's a diary, and they just want to know if you've been sick, if you had any symptoms. And so for a whole year, I was saying no until September, first week in September. And then the other, every time you go up and you visit with them, or they take blood work, they're testing to see if you have any antibodies and just see how you're doing. And that was more often at the beginning, and then I had one last fall, and then this one was my last one. And you get like something like $250, and they give you a card for that. So for what I earned, I think I'm going to get myself a new large screen TV. So it's not a lot of money, but you are, you know, providing, you know, a valuable service. And of course, these drugs have already been tested in animals, so they're pretty sure it's safe, but they wouldn't be giving it to you. But that's what the clinical trials do, is to find out.
After you were vaccinated, were you expected to follow the protocols of masking and spacing?
Yeah,
or-
I did. I just behaved normally. No, I mean, I wasn't doing stupid things like going into a very crowded bar, but I don't do that anyway, you know. And so, you know, they just want you to behave like you always do, because that's what they're testing. And when you're in phase 3, because you're out in many more people, they're also looking for other interactions that, you know, maybe medicines that I take and how it may interact with the vaccine, or I have different conditions that you may have or you may have. So that's what they're looking at to see how it affects the general population. The first 2 phases are pretty limited in numbers, particularly phase 1 where they're checking for safety. And then they expand it to phase 2, and then phase 3 is a much bigger population. So, I mean, they're tracking you, they're following you. You're supposed to report in, that's what the app was for every week. They would occasionally give me a call just to check to see how I was doing. So,
If you had fallen ill from, or had a reaction to the vaccine, would they have paid for your medical care?
I'm assuming they would have. But I mean, when I first got the shot, I had to sit there for a half an hour. They would not let you leave because that's, that is where you're probably going to see the reaction right away. And generally for me, I never have problems with vaccines. I just haven't. I know a lot of people, like for the flu vaccine, people say they get sick. I've never had any of those kind of reactions. Same thing with this one. It was nothing. And I even began to wonder that they also give people, it's a double-blind study. So that means they don't know what they're giving you, and you don't know what you're getting. So for a while there, I thought I was getting the placebo, but late, because I just thought maybe I was, and then come to find out that I did get the vaccine.
Did they tell you that?
No.
They know that they gave you
Well,
the
no,
vaccine.
eventually they did, because it came to the point where the vaccine wasn't approved at first. It was emergency use, which does not mean that it has been approved by the FDA. And when they saw that it was effective, the big argument, as I understand it, was the FDA did not want to give the people with the placebo the vaccine. They wanted to keep them on the placebo, but Pfizer said they think that's unethical. So Pfizer fought. They said, no, these folks should get the vaccine too. So they relented. So everybody who had gotten the placebo, if they wanted the vaccination, they got the vaccination.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. But for me, it was really pretty uneventful.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing, yeah.
Libby, what does phase 4 look like?
That's following you after the drug's been approved.
So you're
And
in phase 4 now.
Yeah, so I mean, if if doctors will, if you come in and say you have COVID, they may report it and stuff like that. If there's any kind of a reaction, it may get reported. If somebody gets the vaccine after it's been approved, they'll be reporting that. But they track it for a while just to make sure that it's not causing, because you're getting into a bigger and bigger audience with many, many different people with many different diseases that they may have or conditions that they may have. So you keep tracking. So.
This is one of the more informative.
This is a great one,
I mean,
yeah.
we all learned something.
Yeah.
Thank you. As you know, we like to make presentations to our speakers, and in lieu of a book and your name and a plaque, we're going to give you lunch.
I rushed here and I got 2 shrimps.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You didn't think you were coming.
And I didn't get any shrimp, but that's all. So I would like, let's see, Bill Strand, you were going to tell us about the mentoring group?
Sure.
But just really quickly, because we're.
So there, I received an email. Anybody knows Susan Berger?
Yes.
Oh, you know, I know you know. Okay, so she sent out she started a group, a thing, it's called Shore Mentors. Empowers a child in our community. Shore Mentors aims to enhance the critical academic development of youth in Northampton County through the encouraging ongoing support of a tutor-mentor relationship. Volunteers make a difference. They're having a meeting Monday, October 24th at 5 p.m. at the First Baptist Church here in Cape Charles. So I passed that along to so the people that We're doing we have the mentoring sign-up sheet, might want to attend. I know Dave Wilcox is going to attend, I'm going to attend. I asked her what the deal is, and that's when she said there's just the two of them. They've already been to Northampton County superintendent of schools, and basically they told them what they can do and what they can't do. They don't want to be a 501c3 because then they can't do some stuff. So anyway, that's her background. So she's looking for people, especially men, she said.
So what's the time and the date again?
It's October 24th, 5 p.m.
At First Baptist Church. Okay, no, thank you very much. I am still looking for volunteers for the parking duty. So please think about it seriously. And I am going to be recruiting, obviously. We don't want to leave the ag fair in the lurch.
It's a busy Saturday.
Yes, I know. Now, would everyone please join for the Rotary Pledge? Please stand. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. Go and serve service above self, gentlemen and ladies. Oh, and stand. Oh, yes, and we will have fun.
All right. It's a wrap.